from Sojourn Psychology. It is Tara Boothby, registered psychologist in Alberta, Canada. Today, I wanted to take some time to talk to you about a modified version of the wellness wheel and how it can benefit us for balance, life recovery, relapse prevention, no matter what our goals are. So it's interesting, prior to working at Sojourn, I spent years working as an addictions counselor. I also taught Grant McEwen for about 5 years, and during that time I was able to teach an addiction curriculum for child and youth care workers. So I'm really passionate about recovery in general and learning about recovery tools for people who have had substance dependencies. It's really helpful just because we all want to recover from life, vices, poor choices, negative thinking, all of this stuff. It's all psychology related. No matter what, the pursuit of self-betterment, having a hope for a future, is part of our DNA, so to say. So it was interesting, and I didn't really get that what I was actually doing was modifying the wellness wheel with the tenets of AA, which is funny because when I figured it out actually one day with a client who was very well versed in AA, and I love the AA model. I've taught it for years, I've been around it for years. Also, I was participated in Celebrate Recovery and taught that curriculum as well. So it was kind of funny that I didn't realize that modifying the wellness wheel of social, emotional, intellectual, physical, occupational, and spiritual, that's the big 6-point model, coming to a 3-point model, was borrowing from AA. The AA symbol is a triangle with a circle around it. And what I started to realize with a lot of my clients, long-term recovery clients, was that they kind of started to develop these 3 tenets, 3 points that were helping them to evaluate their balance. So if something was off, like let's say one of the points was going to the gym, somebody's not going to the gym, then they started to get into their slippery slope with poor choice making or just negative thinking. They were more at risk of making bad decisions that they didn't want to make anymore. So from the AA point of view, the 3 legacies of recovery are recovery, unity, and service. So there's this real beautiful piece that somebody who's very well versed in AA can explain this to you, and it's worth learning, and it would be lovely for that person to have an experience to explain it to you. So if you know somebody, ask them about these things. If you know somebody who knows AA, ask them about it. It's a great program. And the 3 points of the triangle are physical, mental, and spiritual. It's a great modified wellness wheel. If we are trying to make better choices in our life and we focus in on these 3 ingredients, a physical ingredient, a mental ingredient, and a spiritual ingredient. So physical could be, again, going to the gym and healthy eating, working out outside, just walking, anything physical, dancing. What works for you? So finding that physical piece, especially this is really important in life recovery for athletes. A lot of the middle-aged people that I work with are former athletes. If they're noticing some signs of depression, lots of times it's just like they're not working out and they were an athlete for 20 years. Well, your body's craving all that physical activity. So physical, mental, anything that's keeping our mind blooming and growing. So those could be hobbies, those could be good books, good podcasts, things that are just like putting stuff in. I love theory. When I read, it feels more mental. When I listen to a podcast, that can feel more spiritual for me. It fills my cup in a different way. But it's a spiritual center, like AA will say higher power. Whatever source is spiritual, like for you. I know for me, spirituality is just so important, and I can't imagine not having that in my life. I'll be at a struggle, and I'm not perfect in any of these categories. They're easy evaluations, and I'll say for my own self that when I am lacking mental, spiritual, or physical peace, that I do notice my life recovery is more imbalanced. The other really neat thing about that actual AA symbol is that the circle is about oneness, openness, and wholeness. That's what it really signifies. And I just love that. I didn't know that. Oneness, wholeness, openness. What a beautiful thing to meditate on. And that would be a really cool life recovery thing, a spiritual practice for a month or so, if a person was to just meditate on that. And I've said this previously, you have dry erase marker, you can write some beautiful mantra on your bathroom mirror, and then when you're brushing your teeth, just like monk style meditation of repetition. This would be a beautiful little mantra: oneness, openness, and wholeness. What would that do for us if we actually like knit that into the fiber of our being? So again, life recovery, it's the seasons are changing. You know, it's just like boom, winter is here in Alberta. And I think it's a great time to just get into some of your like, how do I keep my balance going? Whether that's sitting down with a cup of coffee and going through the 6 points of the wellness wheel: social, emotional, intellectual, occupational, spiritual, physical. Again, what are the ingredients in my big wellness wheel? Or this sort of smaller modified wellness wheel, the triangle of physical, mental, spiritual. And you know, prioritize yourself. Keep it simple, whatever works for you, but let's try to like take care of ourselves. It's gonna be a cold winter for us, I think. I'm not a weather person, weatherman, weatherwoman. I just, you know, it's really cold all of a sudden. So I'm planning to take care of me, and I just want to encourage you that you are so valuable just the way you are, and you are worth taking care of. Okay. Take care, you guys, and if you're really struggling, don't forget to reach out to your mental health provider. And if you don't have somebody and you're in Alberta, I mean, you can reach out to us at Sojourn. We've got a lovely team, but there's amazing mental health providers out there. So find one, use us. We're great, we're fun. All right, bye.